Welcome to another video with Mr. Long, and we are looking at spreadsheets or Microsoft Excel, and we're going to look at some of the data validation tools that you get in spreadsheets that can really help you make sure that people don't put silly information into your spreadsheets. By the way, Mr. Long, what is validation? Well, validation is the ensuring that the data entered into a system is sensible and reasonable. They say prevention is better than cure. So if we can prevent people from putting the wrong information in, that'll save us having to sort through the data and find out what's wrong and edit data afterwards. So we really want to prevent that from happening. So what are the ways that we can do that? Well, here are a couple of examples of what I mean by validation. So let's say, for example, you're a grade of a high school. Well, we want them to enter in a number, but that number must only be between 8 and 12. We don't want them to put in a 13 because that's incorrect information. It's not valid information. So validation means making sure that the data that is inputted is sensible, that it is reasonable. So let's take another one. If you've got a multiple choice option and you can say A, B, C, or D, you don't want someone putting in option S. So we want to make sure that it's only an A, a B, a C, or a D. That includes them saying it's A, B. We don't want them to put two options. We want them one option. So one letter, please. So let's try to prevent them from putting in things that aren't an A, a B, a C, or a D. Let's look at a couple more examples. What about a South African ID number? That's going to be a whole bunch of numbers, but we must make sure that it's exactly 13 characters. It can't go longer than 30 characters. So we want to limit the length of a particular input. And what about your birth date? Well, we want to enter in a date, but it can't be after today because you obviously can't have people entering and they are entering their birth date as some date that's in the future. So we want some date that's before a particular date, for example, like before today. So let's go see if we can apply some of these examples to an actual spreadsheet. So here I've got a little student quiz where we're going to write in some information. So for example, let's start with that first one with a grade. So at the moment I've got a little block here where I can type in 15 if I want to, but that's going to be an incorrect grade. So I want to limit that. So I'm going to click over here on the grade block and I'm going to come here to data. And then I'm coming right across here to the data tools. Now you'll see that one. It doesn't have the full text. It might be on your screen, but on my one it doesn't. And it says there, if I put my mouse over data validation. So I'm going to click on those options and I really want the data validation option. So I'm going to click on that. And what we want to do for that particular block is to allow not any value. Everything is by default set to any value, but we want to set it to a whole number because we don't want a 8.5 value put in. And it must be between, and 8 is the lowest value and a 12 is the highest value. So that's what we're allowing. We've got these other two tabs. What does that mean? So input message, this is to show the message when the cell is selected. So we might want something to pop up to show, hey, some information. So we're going to type in some information here. So I'm typing grade and I'm saying, please enter a grade between 8 and 12. Remember, the more information you give the user, the less likely they are to put bad information into the system. So that's the little input message and we'll see what that looks like. Now the error alert, it will generate an automatic error message, but we can customize our particular message and we can have what style it is, which means what is the image that it's going to have, a warning or information, for example. Let's give mine a warning. I'm going to say title and say incorrect. And my message is going to be invalid grade must be between 8 and 12. So not only are we customizing what values can go in, but we also give in the feedback that will be given to that user. You don't have to worry about the input message and error alert if you don't want to, as long as you've done the settings, but those options are available to you. So let's go look at what that looks like. When I click OK, you'll notice that the moment I put my mouse or I'm in that particular block, if I click away, you can't see anything, but if I click on that block, it's that input tabs information. Please enter in a grade. So it's giving me that information. So I technically could leave this out even, but I'm not going to. So if we type in 15, press enter. Remember we said it must be a warning. Remember we said what the message must be. So there we go. So continue. No, we're going to come there and we're going to change it to, for example, an 8. If I type in 8, now there's no error message and there's no problem with that input. So that's a really nice one. And those options also occur. For example, if you're going to select a decimal value, you also have those options. You can go between two numbers. You can go not between particular numbers. So you want all numbers except between those ones. You can go equal to a specific number only or not equal to one. So you've got all those options available. If you say, for example, it must be greater than a particular value, it'll only give you one option, but those are available. You can also use this to go and refer not just to a physical value, but you can actually make it refer to a particular block. So if we put a block there, then whatever's in that block will now become not greater than whatever's there. But I'm going to cancel that so we don't affect that cell. But those are the options available with numbers. Now the next one was, let's say we want to enter in the sky. So we want them to enter in A, B, C, or D, and they're going to put their answer there. So we're going to come back here to data validation. So I'm going to come over here to the list option. And in the list option, we can have the cells in a drop-down list box. That means a list of options will appear. And we can actually say, I want it to be an A, comma, a B, comma, a C, comma, and a D. So I'm manually typing in my values. I click OK. So now when I come to this block, so you can see there's a list of options available. So you can go and say, I want the C option. So you can manually type it in if you want. So we could just type in an A. But if we typed in, for example, an M option, and I click away, it'll give me, this is the default error message because we didn't set one for this particular one. So we can retry and go, okay, let's try in the C option as well. So there we go. If you don't want that box to pop down, then make sure that when you go to the validation, you deselect the in cell drop down. And then when you click there, you see that will go. So it still only limits you to an A, B, or C. Putting an F there still gives me an error. And if you put the right answer, it'll be fine. So that's a way to do a list, but that's if we specify the list. What happens if we have a list of options? For example, teacher, we want them to enter in one of the teachers, and over here on this sheet, I've got a list of the possible teachers, and that's a much better way to do your validation. So we're going to click on that block. We're going to go to the validation. We're going to select the list, but instead of typing in our values, we're actually going to go and select those values by clicking on sheet 2 and selecting only one of those options and going back. Okay. So now you'll see on that drop down list, you'll see all the possible teachers that you can select from. You can still type in, but those will be one of the options. So if we want a date, for example, we can come here to data validation. We can go and select a particular date. You can also do the same with time, but we want a date, and the data, we want the data to be greater than. So let's just test it out. What does greater mean? So if we say greater, let's say we don't want anyone that's after 2010. So we're going to make this 2010/12/ the last day of 2010. So they can be 2011, 2012. We want them to be born before that date. So we actually want a value that's less than that date. Because as you know, dates get bigger as we get later. So we don't want anyone that's before that date because then they'll be too young to be in high school. So we want it to be less than that particular date. So let's click OK. And if I come here, if I use today's date, for example, obviously if the person was born today, they would definitely not be in high school, and that's why we don't like that. But if we said 2003/02/25, that date is accepted. So there we can do. You can do the same for times as well. Another option would be, for example, with IDs. For example, you want it to be exactly 13 characters. First thing I'm going to do is actually make this a text field, because IDs, we tend to want to keep them as a text field. And then I'm going to come back here to data, and let's set a validation rule for it. It must be a text length of exactly, so equal to 13. We don't want anything short of 13 characters. Otherwise, it's not a valid South African ID. So if I type in 3 letters, nope, that's a problem. But if I type in 13, even though it's not the valid, it'll be accepted as a potentially valid answer because there's 13 characters in that particular ID. And the last one is going to be if we want a custom option. So if I come here to validation and we select custom, what we can do there is we can actually use a formula here. And there's lots of ways that you can use formulas. I would really suggest that you look online for nice examples for what you want. But for example, if we want to make sure that this is not a number, then we can say equals is text, and we're going to use that particular block as our reference, and we're going to click OK. So what is text does is it returns true if that is text, and returns false if it's a number. So let's come over here. If we type in just numbers, press enter, you'll see there's an error. So let's retype. We'll type in Mr. Long, and then that one is accepted. So anything that's a true or false. So what you could do as well, I'll just use some other examples. If we want to, for example, make sure that the first letter is always going to be a 0, then you can always go equals left of a particular cell of itself. If that is equal to the 0 block, you could do something like that. There are lots of different ways. If there are multiple criteria, you can use your ands and ors, where you've got multiple criteria like that. And there are lots of examples online of what you can do for custom validation. So go check those out. This is where you've got the most flexibility with different things that you can do. So there we go. So those are your different validation techniques. Those are ways to prevent people from typing in the incorrect values into your spreadsheet. So there we go. So reminder data, go to the data tools and go to data validation. And there we go. That is data validation. For more Excel tips as well as Word, Access, HTML, and Delphi programming, make sure you subscribe to @Mr. Long IT and CAT. Follow us on TikTok @Mr. Long Education as well as Mr. Long Computer Terms. And remember, don't do it the long way. Do it the Mr. Long way.